Happy late Halloween and Dia de los Muertos. Today, we're going to be talking about something truly scary. When you get into your car, you turn the key, and it doesn't fucking work. It's happened to me. It's happening to you. If you're watching this video, it's probably happening to you right now. So, we are going to get to the nitty-gritty of how you can figure out what the problem is. Now, this video is a basic guide to figure out what's going on with your engine. Let's talk about what it is not. It is not a tuning guide. It is not a broken engine Bible. And it is not the only correct way to do things. There's a ton of different ways to go about this. This is just what kind of works for me. Also, I'm not a professional by any means, but I follow these steps whenever something goes wrong, and 99% of the time it takes me to exactly what's wrong. And while this is mostly aimed at carbureted engines like a small block Chevy, all engines are basically glorified air pumps. So this will probably lead to your problem as well, even on a newer car, if you can even reach into the engine bay. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're not a trained mechanic. So there's going to be some times where the option is just go to a mechanic, because you probably don't know how to do heavy repairs. Plus, repairs on every car are different, so it'd be pointless for me to talk about all of them. Let's go to a little preliminary knowledge. An engine needs 4 things to start: air, fuel, compression, and spark. You have all 4 of those, chances are you'll be able to get your car moving, at least to the shop to have a pro handle it. Some of you, maybe even most of you, will have push to start. Even without a key, there is some crossover. So when I say put the key in run position, that means press the start button without pushing your foot on the brake. When I say start the car, that means press the brake and start button like how you normally would. For those of you with a key, that means click it to the point right before the starter engages, to where the key returns to after you turn on the car. Also, the combustion cycle. Piston goes down, sucking oxygen and fuel in. Piston goes back up, compressing all of this. Spark plug sets it off, forces the piston back down. Piston goes back up, squeezes exhaust out. That's how every engine works. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. And you don't have to, but if you got the budget, maybe send a super thanks, something like that. Boys gotta eat. Or a sub. Maybe even a Subway sub. No, not Subway. Ike. God, Ike sounds so good right now. And one more thing before we get started, check all the simple crap first. It's one of those things where there's been so many times where the car just won't start and I can't figure it out, and the gas tank is empty or something like that. So check all the idiot things first. That'll always be the first thing to help you out. Plus, it lets you rule out the easy stuff, so you don't look like a fool when you bring it to the mechanic. On a well-maintained car, a lot of the time, the obvious stuff is the problem, so double check it. All right, so your car is in the driveway. Try to start her up, nothing. But what kind of nothing? First, look at your shifter. Make sure it's in park, neutral if it's a manual car. A lot of modern cars have a lockout that don't let you start the car if it's in gear. Make sure it's in park and try again. If literally nothing happens, check to see if your dash comes on. This is done by putting your car in the run position. Flick your headlights on and off. If those don't turn on either, congratulations, this is the easiest one to fix. Your car's out of juice. Jump it, car should turn on, drive it to AutoZone and get your alternator tested. They can help you from there. If you jump it and still nothing happens, no lights, no dash, nothing, check your battery. Sometimes it's in the trunk. Just because you can jump from under the hood does not mean the battery's there too. Like on my Challenger. Jiggle the terminals around. If they come loose, tighten them. Try it again. Nothing still? Check your car's fuse box for any popped ones. Still nothing? See a mechanic. Alright, battery issues. Those have been ruled out. So, what comes next? You turn the key. You got lights. Turn it further. You hear a click. Just one click. Now this can mean a lot of things, including a locked up engine that can cost thousands to fix. And did I scare you? I know I scared you a little bit. Now you think that it's the locked up engine. It's probably not that. Most likely it's not that. Unless you overheated it, ran the oil dry, that kind of stuff. Maybe you had the engine part and you dropped a bolt in the intake. I've had somebody do that to me before. That was not fun. The likelihood of your engine being locked up is below 0 for one simple reason. If it was acting normal when you turned it off, it's probably not locked up. So, good there. Unless you overheated it. And by overheating, I don't mean running the car when it's hot and then you turn it off yourself. I mean, if you overheated it last night and it locked up while it was running, then you gotta worry. Most likely, it's the starter, which for most cars is an easy fix. Unless it's a North Star, but that's besides the point. This is a super common issue on cars that have been sitting for a while. Sometimes you're lucky and can fix it by hitting it with a hammer while a friend starts it. Hey, look at me. Not a claw hammer. a rubber mallet. If you only have a claw hammer, wrap it in tape and cloth, okay? If you do it without, you're just gonna smack the heck out of it and probably chip away, possibly damage it some more. If you have a metal hammer or a claw hammer, wrap it up. It's a pro tip for life. If hitting it doesn't fix it, you might need to get the starter replaced. Do it yourself or take it to a mechanic. Okay, so your starter works fine. You've ruled that out. Your engine's cranking, but it's not starting. So that means turn on the car, you hear pretty close to the sound. Now, there are 3 routes you can take. First, if your engine just sounds like it's shooting wind, also called freewheeling, your valves are adjusted incorrectly. This really cannot happen without somebody messing with your valves first, so this is aimed at dudes who just put some new heads on and are wondering why it's not working. It's because you're not making compression. Readjust them, the engine should run fine now. If you didn't touch your valves, most likely this is not the problem, so this is ruled out completely. And no, if you're one of those annoying mechanic customers, somebody rotating your tires would not adjust your valves. Don't be that guy that blames them just because they worked on it last. Cause A, you're not getting any spark. Where is it? I have it right here. That's where this little tool comes in. One of the most useful tools I've ever bought. If you work on your car, get yourself one of these. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I just call it a spark checker. You can get them from AutoZone for like $5. It is one of the most useful things in my tool arsenal. And it's actually pretty fun. I love that. Basically, all you got to do is this. Unplug the wire from your spark plug and put this little doohickey in between them. Think of it like a plug wire extender. Plug the other end into the spark plug and try to crank your engine. If it glows, congratulations, you got spark in that cylinder. You're gonna need to do this for every single spark plug to verify that they're all working. Yes, it takes a while, especially if you have a Hemi with 16 spark plugs, but it's worth it. If you have 1 or 2 cylinders not working, you might want to take it to a mechanic. Again, if you're watching this video, you're probably pretty close to out of your depth as it is. So you plugged in your spark checker and no light. Your issue is electrical. If it's a more modern car, it could be a number of things. It could be a bad spark wire, a bad coil pack, hell, even a simple fuse. Check them all. I'd definitely try and get a traveling mechanic to at least diagnose it though. Save yourself some money before firing off the parts cannon. If it's an old engine like a small big block Chevy, then troubleshooting is even easier. Chances are the issue is your distributor. If it's an HEI with a bulge on top, make sure the power wire didn't shake loose. If it did, plug it in, try again. If it's points, just follow the wire to the battery and starter and make sure there aren't any snapped wires or bad connections, as well as your coil. Uncle Tony's Garage can explain this part way better than me. Double check your spark plug wires are in the correct order. Again, this is aimed at people working on the engine themselves. If you drove it back from the mechanic or you've just been driving it around and it's not starting, the spark plug wires are probably fine. It's very rare that all wires will fail at the same time, so the issue is probably in the cap. Take off the wires and take the top of the distributor off. Check for burns or corrosion. This is what a good one looks like. This is what a bad one looks like. If burns and corrosion are present, replace the cap. It shouldn't be that expensive. So if you've checked around and you've got spark, ding ding ding, the only last possibility is fuel. You can check this easily by disconnecting your air filter and spraying starter fluid down the throat of the intake. Nothing crazy, just a 1 to 2 second spray. And yes, starter spray, not a cup of gasoline. I've learned that the hard way. My eyebrows have had to grow back before. You can technically use the cup of gasoline, but it's much more like you're just going to create a fireball. Also, throttle body intake, I don't know exactly how it works, but fuel doesn't come in through a modern car's intake. Okay, so don't just put a cup of fuel in the intake. Starter fluid's okay, not the fuel. Fuel is injected through injectors, which that's a whole other thing. Once you spray the starter spray in, try and start the car. Chances are, if all your electrical is checked out, it's going to start for a second and then die. This happens and you're having issues getting fuel to the engine, so the problem is somewhere in the fuel line. Check for old crusty fuel filters, kinks in the fuel line, that kind of stuff. Use your nose, maybe there's a fuel leak. If you just converted your old hot rod to an electric fuel pump, you may have put it too far up the line and it's sucking the fuel hose flat. You can also rent a fuel pressure tool from AutoZone. Check different areas, see where it's losing pressure. And that about brings this video to an end, mostly due to the fact that any other issues it could be, you probably should take it to the mechanic. I could go on and on about different fuel pressures, different tuning, that kind of stuff. But again, this video is meant for beginners. You're not going to know how to do all of that. If you want to, check another tutorial. This one is not a catch-all for everything. I know that this won't fix every problem you have with your car, but it's a general tool to kind of point you in the right direction. Keep in mind, there's always a possibility that it can be multiple issues at once, so double and triple check everything. If you got any more tips, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. Let's turn this into a place where people can learn. Also, if you come up with any other ideas, then just leave them down in the comments below. It's a good start. Thanks again for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I hope you have a good day. Peace.